Hey, thanks for clicking on Wayne.com for week 7 of Inside the Zone with Justin Kinney of the News Sentinel. And it is one of the best weeks of the regular season. It's SAC rivalry week. And so that's what we're going to spend a lot of time talking about, because we got some really great matchups this coming Friday night. And we're going to start it off with what is going to be our highlight zone game of the week. You can't go wrong with the Battle of the Bishops every year.
Not at all.
Luers, Dwenger, both teams in my eyes are perhaps playing their best football of the season. Luers has got Ty Hambright healthy now, with him and Jordan Presley back there, kind of a juggernaut offensively that we were looking forward to seeing, when the season started at full health. And then Dwenger coming off a nice shutout, 27-0 over Concordia. What do you see as the biggest key in this one? Because, like I said, these are two teams that are trending upward.
It's so difficult to pinpoint what's going to be important in this game, because we have seen good Dwenger and bad Dwenger and good Luers and bad Luers. So we're really not sure yet still what we have with these teams. Like you said, both are trending up. They've had some good wins of late. But, man, we're still trying to lock down what Bishop Dwenger is. What do they do well? Bishop Luers, what do they do well consistently? And I think we're going to learn a lot, hopefully, on Friday night. But, Luers getting healthy. Dwenger settling in with Patrick O'Keefe at quarterback, the most Bishop Dwenger name I've ever heard in my life. And so both teams really trending up, and you can't say enough about that Bishop Dwenger defense the way they played last Friday.
Yeah, last week it's the first time Concordia's been shut out since 2012, and we know how the quarterbacks have fared, the Sparks kid and then Peter Morrison. I mean, they've had an offensive juggernaut there at Concordia. The question, I think, in years past is can they stop people? And obviously, they did last year, or outscored everyone either way. But when you take a look at this Dwenger defense, they forced 6 interceptions against Concordia. You talk about the most Dwenger name, Patrick Finley made some plays, a couple of picks if I recall. What do you do if you're this Luers offense going up against that D? Because, Luers doesn't throw it like Concordia throws it. It's a real different approach, especially with Presley and Hambright in the backfield.
Well, you have to think, all due respect to Marcus Moreau, good running back. He's not Tyrion Hambright. He's not Jordan Presley. Just those scat backs, those guys that can make a lot out of a little and are just tremendous in space. So that is what Bishop Dwenger has to do. They were able to contain Marcus Moreau and make Jake Bird try to beat him 37 pass attempts in that game. I don't think Luers is going to have to pass that much. I think if they're able to run the ball against Bishop Dwenger, they're going to have a lot of success. But, the team we saw with Bishop Dwenger to play Homestead and the team we saw last Friday play Concordia, two completely different teams on both sides of the ball.
And I think when Luers does throw it, or has thrown it this year, it hasn't really been downfield all that often. I mean, we've seen Justin Gaston behind the defense a little bit, but it's been a lot of screens. It's been a lot of intermediate to short routes, so it's been a lot of dump-offs, and that is very different than what Concordia does.
Yeah, definitely. Jake Bird likes to get the ball downfield. Guys like Kamari Anderson, Drew, Keani Griggs, guys that can really stretch the defense. So, yeah, you're right. Bishop Luers really thrives in that short to medium passing game, a lot of tunnel screens, a lot of quick slants, stuff like that, because they have the athletes that they want the ball in their hands as quick as possible in as much space as possible. So that's kind of Luers' game plan, and we'll see how Dwenger is able to defend it on Friday.
Dwenger offensively this season, we've seen different performances on different Friday nights. It's been a little bit Jekyll and Hyde. What are you going to be looking for if you're that Luers defense this time around? Because Chip Clark has done a nice job at times. You've seen Tommy Steele on the outside making plays. Bradley Black is a quality receiver who's played a lot of football at Bishop Dwenger. I mean, what are you really keying in on defensively if you're Bishop Luers going against that Dwenger offense?
Yeah, Isaac Bloom, too, has had a good year. Yeah, the Bishop Dwenger front seven, which got absolutely dominated against Homestead, really dominated Concordia last Friday. So I think that's where it starts, because you want to contain that running game and that two-headed monster of Hambright and Presley and make Luers beat you vertically. So I think if you take the running game away from Bishop Luers, they're a very pedestrian offense, as you can say, for a lot of teams. So that, I think, is the priority. And then with those guys on the outside for Bishop Dwenger, is can they contain those Justin Gastons, Camden Childers, guys like that can really make a lot of things happen on the outside.
Your prediction for this one? Battle of the Bishops, always a good one.
I'm going Bishop Dwenger.
Yeah.
Just because I'm very impressed with what they did last Friday. I saw the week before Concordia and Northrop, and I know Northrop isn't a very good team, to be honest, but Concordia was just able to really demolish them with their offense, and to get shut out 1 week later after Jake Bird looked so good and Marcus Moreau had been really running the ball hard. I'm really impressed with that Bishop Dwenger defense, and I think they're able to contain the running game of Luers just enough to win a close game.
I love to be contrarian, but I was going to pick Luers anyway, regardless of your pick, because I love the combination of Hambright, and Presley, I think it can be deadly. And then I do enjoy, Childers. This could be a game where we see him step up because there's been a lot of talk about him. Coaching staff really likes him. Also, Gaston and all those guys. I really think I would go Luers by a touchdown, but I have been wrong many, many times before.
But not recently.
No, 10-0 last week.
Sure, your wife has a list, though. She could probably remind you.
It'd be a terrible list.